There's so much pizza tasting at this expo, it's insane. But I was on the search for what was related to backyards and pizza making because after all, that's what we're doing. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the BBQ Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Christie Vanover, champion pitmaster, cookbook author, the girl behind one of America's top barbecue websites, girlscangrill.com, and a contestant on Food Network's Barbecue Brawl. I'm here to bring you some quick barbecue tips to help you up your barbecue game. Well, it is March 2025, and what that means is that Girls Can Grill is officially 10 years old. I launched my website and posted my first recipe on March 27, 2015. It is amazing that 10 years have flown by, that I have turned my dream of an idea into an actual career and a business that I'm super proud of. 10 years of bringing you guys barbecue tips, barbecue recipes, grilling advice, and I'm hopefully here to bring you many, many more years of the same. To celebrate, I am doing a huge giveaway on my website where I'm giving away a master-built Gravity Series 1150 digital charcoal grill and smoker. Plus, I'm giving away the new Thermoworks RFX 4-probe starter set. That's their new wireless thermometer. Plus, a whole bunch of cowboy charcoal because you guys know me, I am always cooking with cowboy. And I'm giving away some Girls Can Grill swag, including a hat, my rubs, and a signed cookbook. If you guys want to enter, it's super easy. You just go to my website. There'll be a pop-up that shows you how to enter, or you can go to grillinggiveaway.com. That'll take you directly to the entry form. All you have to do is put in your name and your email address, and you'll be entered to win. The contest goes until April 5th, so make sure that you get your entry in before that, and then we'll just randomly choose somebody to win that huge $1,600 10-year anniversary prize pack. So make sure you guys go get registered, and thank you so much for an amazing 10 years. For today's episode, I went to another convention in Las Vegas. I tell you what, it has been convention season. I think this is probably my fourth show since January, honestly, and I've even missed a couple shows this year. I didn't head to CES. The Restaurant and Bar Expo was this week as well, and I didn't make it out to that, but I did go to the Pizza Expo, which I've known has been in town before, but I've never attended. Oh my gosh, if you love pizza, you would just die in heaven. So the things that you're going to see inside the Pizza Expo include everything imaginable to make a pizza. It really is geared a little bit more towards commercial and food service than like the backyard pizza maker or like even retail to where you're going to make pizza in your kitchen. It is definitely more like commercial grade. However, it includes everything that you put on a pizza. Well, actually, let me backtrack. It includes the dough, like anything related to dough, whether it's the flour, whether it's the yeast, whether it's pre-made doughs. Then there are booths that have everything related to the toppings. Every kind of sauce you can imagine, pre-made or just the raw ingredients themselves, like if you want to get some really nice Italian tomatoes and make your own sauces. There were several cheese exhibitors, obviously salamis and hams and toppings and all the things you can think of, plus the drizzles that you put on top. Like Mike's Hot Honey had a big booth there. They even had this video game that you could play at the Mike's Hot Honey booth which had to do with like pizza. It was a really fun little game. And then there was the local Hive Honey. They have a hot honey and a few different things that I tasted. So again, any type of drizzle that you can put on a pizza. Then if you think beyond the ingredients themselves, there were exhibitors who had the different types of pans, whether you're doing Detroit style or whether you want the Neapolitan and the thin and crispy. There were people who had pre-made pizzas that you can buy. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. And then there was, of course, a ton of commercial equipment, like the big mixers that you would mix pizza dough in, the ovens themselves. Now, when I was a teenager, I worked at Little Caesars. I've mentioned that before. And I used to make the dough in the morning and the sauce, and I used to grind the cheese. So I used one of those industrial mixers. They're honestly as big as I am, but you need that when you're whipping out that much product. So there was a collection of those. And then, like I said, the big pizza ovens, the really industrial ones that you're going to be, again, whipping out pizzas like Little Caesars or Domino's, or even like bars and restaurants that serve really good pizzas. Those were some of the clientele that they were kind of geared towards as well. And then last but not least, there were like pizza box manufacturers, people who could make any size or shape pizza box with any kind of like restaurant logo on it. There was point of sale machines. Again, so much stuff related to the restaurant industry. But I was on the search for what was related to backyards and pizza making because after all, that's what we're doing. Most of you listening probably don't own a restaurant. Maybe you do, but I would say the majority of you probably don't. You just maybe like to cook pizza in your backyard. So there were 2 pizza ovens that I noticed there, 2 big brands that I'm sure you guys have heard of that have 2 new things in the industry. I want to start with Ooni pizza. So I have an Ooni pizza in my backyard. I have the wood-fired one where you add in the wood logs and then you get it going and then you put your pizza in there and it makes really great pizza. Well, they have a couple new ones coming out, and that's the Coda 2 series. They have some larger models. They have an 18-inch one that has 2 burners. You can actually put in a huge pizza or up to 3 small pizzas. They are all propane controlled, propane fuel. They don't have doors on this series. They have these like visors that help control the heat a little bit better. And then they have these digital controls that are Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to your phone so that you can actually monitor if your pizza oven has reached temperature before you go out there and put another pizza on it. It doesn't measure the temperature of the stone itself, which to me, that is usually what I'm aiming for when I'm measuring my pizza oven temperature is the stone before I put my pizza in, but it does measure the whole ambient temperature of the pizza oven. So they've got a couple of those coming out in April and May. They're varying sizes, and I think they're going to kind of stagger the launch of those. They also launched a new stand mixer called the Halo Pro. It's kind of like a KitchenAid in that it has a bowl and it has like a dough hook, but it doesn't have like the big arm like a KitchenAid. It's pretty sleek. But again, it has the big bowl and it has 3 different attachments. You can do the dough hook, the whisk, or there's a paddle. And then it has a little dial that you rotate on the top and you can make your pizza dough in there. And they say that it's got great spiral technology, more focused on bread baking and dough making for pizzas, obviously, as opposed to like a KitchenAid that is really, really versatile. They were saying that this one creates like this pumpkin-shaped spiral that you want when you're creating pizza dough. So be on the lookout for that. I believe they said that's going to launch April 2nd. So that should be out here soon. And there are 2 colors that's going to come in. The other backyard pizza oven exhibitor that I saw was Gozney. So they had their traditional models that Gozney is known for, but they are also launching a new model and it's called the Tread. And this one is pretty cool. It's small, so it only makes up to a 12-inch pizza, but it's more for portability. Like if you wanted to go camping and you wanted to take a pizza oven, this is the one. It is lighter weight. Again, it's smaller, but you can also put a 12-inch skillet in there so you can use it for more than just pizza. And it's pretty compact, but it has like an accessory where you can get a tripod, so you can actually put it up so it's not just something you have to put on a picnic table. You can actually have it more at kind of waist level when you're doing your cooking. And then you can get other like accessories for it, like a cutting board thing that goes on top so you can do some prep. You can also use that as kind of a tray to store a cooked pizza or to put your skillet up there before you want to put it in your oven. And there's other accessories too, like a carrying bag, which again attributes to the accessibility. And that one comes in 2 colors. So be on the lookout for the Gozney Tread. That was the other new trend that I saw there at the Pizza Expo. I didn't see any other big like backyard brands, grill brands, or pizza oven brands out there, but I did see a brand out there called Palermo Pizza. You may be familiar with their frozen pizzas in the frozen pizza section. I tasted their pizza. By the way, there's so much pizza tasting at this expo. It's insane. But I tasted their pizza and the dough just really stopped me in my tracks. Of all of the things out there on the floor, that one just had this really fantastic flavor. The dough itself is more, I would say, like a ciabatta style, to where it's crispy on the outside, but super airy and pockety on the inside. And it just had this beautiful crunch and beautiful chew to it. Now, again, they are marketing right now to like retail and food service. So I don't know that we'll see much within the backyard area. One person there told me that they are trying to get the crusts on the market to where we could just go buy a crust and then make a pizza without having to worry about creating the dough. Another person said they're more focused on the food service, to where you would actually buy a frozen pizza, or maybe they would be sold to restaurants and things like that, to where the restaurants would make the pizzas. So not really sure what we'll see out of Palermo in a backyard type of setting or an at-home setting, but I would say keep an eye out for it, because if you see like a square or rectangular crust from Palermo or one of their sister brands, definitely grab it. So I'll keep an eye out for this. One person said maybe in the fall we could see some stuff in retail. So if that's the case, I'll try to update you guys, because the flavor of the crust was just so good and like yeasty and earthy and just had so much more depth and flavor to it than a lot of like the refrigerated pizza doughs that you can already buy. So look for Palermo. I know they have frozen pizza already, but this one is something that's a little bit different. But it does make me want to go and try the original Palermo frozen pizzas, which I don't think I have. So I'm going to do that too and just see how those work out. One of the most exciting things for me at the show is that I ran into my friend Sean Martin. He is one of the people behind Vindulge. So it's Mary Kressler and Sean Martin. They run Vindulge and they just launched their second cookbook, which is Fire and Wine Backyard Pizza. Their first cookbook is Fire and Wine, which pairs grilled foods beautifully with wine. Well, the pizza book does the same thing. So for today's podcast, we sat down with Sean and asked him a few questions about the book. So Sean, tell us a little bit about the new book. What inspired it and what can we find inside?
So what inspired it is the growth of pizza ovens. We got really excited about how pizza ovens were changing the game in terms of reasonable investments to make restaurant-style quality pizzas. And then we realized we love grilling, and so there's probably a book out there for giving you recipes and techniques to meet you where you are with whatever grill or pizza oven you have. And so that's where Fire and Wine Backyard Pizza came around. So we have techniques on if you have a big green egg, or if you have a kettle grill, or if you have a pizza oven of any type. And we try and walk through the setup and what we recommend for tools so that you can have restaurant quality pizzas just in your backyard.
Great. In regards to recipes, what can people expect to see?
And we have some fundamentals. So we have sauces and doughs that I think are important to understand, because then that's your canvas that you can paint. From there, we have over 40 pizza recipes, from dessert pizzas to savory pizzas to your traditional. And so we try and build on that so that you can take what you love about each of the pizzas and then start making your own. That would be the goal, is that you get so awesome at this that you're making your own style of pies. But yeah, we have over 40 recipes to inspire people. I think the number one mistake people make when making pizza at home is not realizing the importance of your pizza stone. So using a pizza stone helps keep a regulated heat at the base of your pizza so you get even cooking. So having a good quality pizza stone, whether it's your home oven or naturally in your pizza oven, but for a grill, you go and buy one that you can set right on indirect heat so that you don't break it. But that pizza stone is important, and the temperature is the most important. So having the ability to understand what the temperature is so that you're not burning your pizza before the toppings are cooked through, or vice versa, having fried toppings but your dough isn't cooked all the way through.
We are both big Thermoworks fans. Thermoworks is here today, and I assume the way that you recommend to test your pizza stone is with an IR gun from Thermoworks. Is that right?
Yes, a Thermoworks IR gun is probably one of the best investments you're going to make besides your actual grill or your oven. And you have to have one. And it not only works on pizza stones, you can use it to temp your products, even inside your own home oven. So definitely an IR thermometer is a key investment. And we mentioned that in the book too.
We're going to go step inside and speak with Thermoworks, and then we'll come right back to you. I'm with Kyle from Thermoworks, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what they're doing here at the Pizza Expo. The key to getting your pizza stone heated to the proper temp is using an IR gun. Can you tell us about what IR guns you have?
Yeah, our most popular infrared model is this one, the IRK2. So the IRK2 has a circular laser guide. It shows you exactly where you're measuring, and you can plug a probe in the side of it. So those are the two things that set this model apart and make it the most commonly used thermometer for pizza. This is our IR Gun S. This is the more of an entry-level model. Still fully capable. It's got the single laser guide instead of the circle laser. But they both will go to a little over 1,000 degrees and give you the stone temperature for your pizza to make sure you're doing it right every time. Thermopin IR is a little bit different unit. We've combined a Thermopin here so you can get your internal temperature readings with your surface temperatures. To do that, you just got to close the probe and click the button. The biggest difference here is your high temperature rating for an infrared is about 660 degrees. So it'll work on some pizza ovens, but not all, depending on what temperature you like to cook at.
Do you have any recommendations for pizza stone temperatures?
It all depends on your dough and your process. Some doughs cook better at 500 degrees if they're a little bit thicker, and of course your Neapolitan doughs with a thin crust generally do better about 800 or 900 degrees. But the best thing to do is trial and error. What's the worst that could happen, right? But when you figure it out, the best part about having a good thermometer is that you can repeat it every time.
What sets Thermoworks apart from any other infrared guns or thermometers?
That's a great question. At Thermoworks, everything we back by the Thermoworks name. We're known for quality. We've been around for 30 plus years. If you ever buy something and have a question, you can give us a call. We've got live trained people that are food enthusiasts at our office here in Utah. And we'll back everything that we sell with full warranties and support. And we're quality. We're built for commercial kitchens, which is a rough environment. And so it's going to survive at home as well.
Anything else you want to share from the Pizza Expo?
Enjoy some great pizza, whether you make it at home or go get some. And temperature matters every time you cook a pizza. Just know that.
Great. Thanks so much, Kyle. We're back with Sean. Tell me what your favorite pizza in the book is.
My favorite pizza in the book is the Diavola. Now, the Diavola is a spicy pizza that you'll see often in a Neapolitan-style restaurant. It's all about spicy cured meats and big flavor. So I love it because it's just like, when you take a bite, it just makes the mouth explode. It has spicy soppressata. It's got spicy pickled peppers, especially from some friends of ours in Oregon called Mama Lil's. And so it's just this great flavor with a nice sweet sauce base and the chewy crust. So it's got a lot of balance, but that's probably my favorite.
And since this is a duo with Mary, who's a sommelier, tell me about her favorite pizza and how she's incorporated wine into this book.
Yeah, so Mary, what was important to Mary is making sure that when people understand that you can have a pairing with each pizza that is different style of wine, so Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon and Zinfandel. So it was important to her to make sure we paired each, which is kind of similar to our first book, Fire and Wine. And if she were here, she'd be telling you that her favorite pairing is sparkling wine. And her favorite pizza is the classic margarita. Now, there's other fun ones she likes too, but the margarita is kind of like the simplest pizza with the simplest ingredients. But when you make those ingredients as good as possible, it just becomes an incredible flavor. Sparkling wine has that nice bubble flavor, and the better stuff isn't sweet, it's dry. And so when you balance that dry flavor with the bubbles with almost any style of pizza, from sweet to savory, it just works. And so whether it's champagne or a sparkling wine from Oregon, it's just really delicious.
So tell us, where can people find your book and when will it be on sale?
Yes, so Fire and Wine Backyard Pizza drops on April 1st, which is just in a couple of days. You can find it at all the online places, from Amazon to Barnes & Noble. We also encourage you to call your local bookstore. You can actually ask them to order this, and they can call up Penguin Random House and say, can I get a copy of Fire and Wine Backyard Pizza? Because we love supporting our local community. Or you can buy it from us. We have signed editions from the Vindulge.com website as well. And so wherever you buy it, we just say thank you.
Thanks, Sean. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Christy.
Well, guys, that's it. That was my adventure at the Pizza Expo. Be sure to pick up your copy of Backyard Pizza. It is available so soon. Check your local bookstores, Amazon, you name it. And also be sure to enter that grilling giveaway. Go to grillinggiveaway.com where you could win a grill, Thermoworks RFX, Cowboy Charcoal, lots of Girls Can Grill swag. You can enter until April 5th, so don't delay. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. As always, you can find thousands of barbecue tips, hundreds of barbecue recipes at girlscangrill.com, and you can follow me on all the socials at Girls Can Grill. Until next time, guys, happy grilling and happy pizza making. Bye.